want to start with a map of electric co-ops in the United States. Every co-op that you see colored is a co-op that I am directly familiar with that is either evaluating deploying fiber to the home to their membership or is already deploying fiber to the home. So as you can see, there's a pretty good grouping in Missouri, Arkansas, Western Tennessee, and Oklahoma. So a lot of that has happened in the last few years. Probably the interest came about in maybe 2010, 2011 with the American Recovery Reinvestment Act, and co-ops applied for funding to serve their membership with. How this really came about from an electric cooperative perspective is demand from members. An electric co-op is owned by the people they serve and formed in the 30s to provide a service to rural areas that couldn't get service from investor-owned utilities. And members started asking their electric co-ops to help solve rural broadband problems. So co-ops have a need for smart grid communications, SCADA networking. They need to connect their substations. They need to connect downline devices. They need smart meters. So they also have a need for communication services in addition to the owner's need for the communication service. Before I came to Arkansas, I was in the state of Missouri, and I worked at Como Electric Cooperative. And Como Electric Cooperative is the first electric co-op in the country to deploy fiber to the home to 100% of its membership without any government grants or loans. This is a map of real broadband availability in the state of Missouri. Orange is cable and red is fiber to the home. And if you look, this is the exact outline of Como Electric's territory. 100% fiber to the home, gigabit service in an area with 13 homes per square mile or 7 customers per linear mile of plant. That project was funded completely by the cooperative himself, built in 4 years, and now has over 15,000 active fiber to the home customers and is net income and cash flow positive after 4 years. So while I was at Como Electric in central Missouri, the success of this project started to get out to other electric co-ops throughout the country. So we hosted visits and helped other co-ops get started. And one of the co-ops to come to visit was Ozarks Electric out of Fayetteville. And when they left, they took me with them back to Ozarks. So let's take a look at what broadband footprint looks like at Ozarks today. The black outline is Ozarks Electric's footprint that actually reaches quite a ways into Oklahoma and east into Arkansas, quite a ways east of Fayetteville and Springdale. Fayetteville and Springdale are right through here. Most populated area, northwest Arkansas. The red census blocks are where 25 megabit service is available today, so that is federal definition of broadband. As you can see, much of Ozarks' geographic territory has been left out of broadband service. The question's been asked, what speed is broadband? Well, I really believe what speed is broadband is what the majority of people across the country subscribe to when they have real broadband available, and that's closer to 100 megabits. And if you look at 100 megabits availability inside of northwest Arkansas and Oklahoma, it even gets much, much smaller. So right now, less than half of Ozarks Electric members have access to even the 25 megabits, and even much less have access to 100 meg service that you can get in most major metropolitan areas across the country.
When you say 100, are you talking about 100 up and down both?
This is 100 down, only looking at 100 down, and I almost guarantee it's not 100 up. Ozarks is providing symmetrical speeds, 100 up, 100 down, and a gig up and a gig down. So this puts northwest Arkansas kind of in a unique position. I know there's a lot of gigabit deployments going on in the country, but these are fully deployed gigabit networks in the United States that are complete and 100% service. And you can see it's a pretty small group of communities. You have Chattanooga, Tennessee, you got Greenville, North Carolina, you have Kansas City with Google, and the map here is actually Como, because Como deployed not just to its entire footprint, but every community inside of its footprint as well. So Ozarks project started with, like I said, we had needs for communications to our substations and our electric distribution system. So we started by deploying fiber to all our substation locations. That forms the core of our network. We can start to branch out and connect to our electric distribution devices on our distribution network. And then that, of course, when we do that, passes our members' homes. Our 6 phases of construction, this is a 7,000-mile fiber to the home project. We believe this is the largest rural fiber to the home project in the country. So it has to be split up in phases. So we divided it up into 6 equal phases over 6 years of construction. And we've tried to hit some rural areas at the same time we hit more of the urban areas. So not just are we bringing broadband to people that are unserved and underserved today, it's important that it also has to be affordable. So we're providing 100 meg symmetrical internet for $49.95, gigabit for $79.95. We have a full triple play service. We have television, $65.95 for basic television, $129 for every channel you can imagine. And we have unlimited local and long distance phone for $24. And if you bundle all that together, you have a $20 discount. So you can get a very reasonable package in rural Arkansas for about $130 for everything. And I think that's very comparable to any major metropolitan area in the country. So we also have business offerings, small business and dedicated internet, private networking capability between multiple business locations. Just a few pictures from our project. Since this is the core of our electric communication network, we build it with redundancy and resiliency for reliability purposes. We have concrete buildings. We have multiple directions of fiber-fed paths to ensure the network is reliable, even in major storm outages, because we have to rely on that network for outage restoration and to know where we have outages and issues in our system. Our data center, we have a 4,800 square foot data center, a hardened facility once again to withstand tornadoes and major storm events. So this is the hub of our OzarksGo network, but it's also the hub of Ozarks Electric Smart Grid Network. Our cable TV head end, we actually receive all this over very large satellite dishes and convert it to internet protocol. And then we push it out and broadcast that out over the fiber network to our customers. A few final points. While this project is going on over the next 6 years, we have multiple large contractors building this fiber network. That's providing over 300 jobs that are employed by contractors, in addition to the 40 OzarksGo employees that we anticipate growing to. So that's a large economic development impact. Of course, fiber to the home brings economic development impact. So Fiber to the Home Council, now the Fiber Broadband Association, published a study that home values are increased up to $3,000 by having access to a fiber network. So you have the benefits of a fiber to the home network, which you heard some from the previous speakers. This is one thing, when I did the Como Electric project in Missouri, this was an unexpected benefit that we found, is that as we converted people to our service, we converted our membership to our service, you saw our pricing. We found on average we were saving our members $25 per month on their internet, phone, and television services. We looked at that in our region. We expect pretty much that same benefit. If you extrapolate that across our expected take rate from our members, we expect a $13 million annual benefit in discretionary income put back in our members' pockets to spend on other things in the community.